coming. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Again, making such a big effort and put all the different kind of activities on the side and kind of put all different things in and then come to the retreat. Is always a lot of things you have to put together. So thank you very much for your beautiful, joyful effort and dedication for doing these beautiful spiritual virtuous activities, which is really wonderful. Generally, in our life, we have so many beautiful activities that we do. But this is what we are doing. The spiritual activity, virtuous activity, is one of the very beautiful, strong, standing practice or activities in our life. According to the teaching of the many great masters, the Buddha, all that virtues, the spiritual activity that we do, is really going to connect and benefit for us long time. Not just only for short temporary kind of benefit to ourselves, to others, but it's a long-lasting benefit. That which means, and in Buddhism, I think you all know, life is not just a came here new, or our life is not just the beginning, or a life of beginning, nor is it not the last. It's the one of the chain of life we go through, one after another. This is the one of the lives. Whatever activity we do, we connect with the spiritual, it will carries for a long time as ripple effect throughout the lives. Not just only spiritual activity, our every action, what we do, it really will, according to the teaching of the Buddhism, it will go a long way. And that which is known as commonly karma. Karma is not just came suddenly that happened, or nor is somebody bought and put or overloaded to us. It is something that activity we created and we continually carry. We can experience the result, whatever it is, whether it's good or bad. The spiritual activity, which means again dharma. Dharma is what? Actually, what we're talking about, dharma. In the Buddhism, dharma means our own true nature of the mind. And what is true nature of our own mind? According to again teaching, our true nature is loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, the openness mind. That is really the nature of the mind. Whatever activity we do, and reflect that beautiful nature, love and kindness, compassion, openness, wisdom, then it is the virtuous activities. It brings immediately result to one's own self, bring joy and peace, harmony. It will balance all those turbulence elements, stressfulness and anxieties, and so really it will subside that. It brings our inner beauty and quality. Let it shine as the sunshine and begin to spread out all out everywhere. And we kind of swing with that beautiful attitude and thought, known as, as you all know, the bodhicitta, then it goes far than what we can imagine. It goes far. According to Buddha's teaching, it really goes far to the infinite states. And not just going that time, but it will go continually to the infinite states. Far and long lasting. So therefore, spiritual activity is one of the very beautiful activity that we can do in our life, which is standing tall and firm, strong to our nature and benefit to the others and to ourselves. And today we are doing the highlight of the prayer flex, or in Tibet called the lungta, in English translated as Windhorse practices. Windhorse practices, or the lungta, or the prayer, raising up these prayer flags, are one of the beautiful, really again, spiritual or the dharma activities that we can do. So I like to talk brief introductions of these prayer flags. Generally, according to Buddha's teaching, it's so important to have whatever spiritual activity, dharma activity we do, is beautiful motivation. Motivation is so important. It's the foundation. It is a vital essence. It's a central column. And therefore, the beautiful motivation, bring out more joy and appreciations. This is not just only the prayer flags time, or raising up the prayer flags time, but always, every day when we get up, and we remember that, bring more joy and appreciation. Life is precious, still is precious. Breathing is breathing. It's beautiful. Every situation, circumstance is really quite good. If we count the percentage, 100%, if we count our situation, circumstance, particularly this country, many people are 60%, 7%, 80%, 90% maybe is really good. So therefore, highlight that. This is also not just come by itself. It is a lot of cause and condition, a very close range and a far range. All come, that means line up that condition, favorite conditions. With joy and appreciation. And combine the joy and appreciation with the bodhicitta. And wish all this, what we have, to every living being. They all made their free from the suffering, the difficulty, trouble, so all the struggling things, and all those threatening, the frightening situation, really wish that sincerely there. And we wish that, if we do that, that is known as the essence of the spiritual or Dharma in Buddhism. That is Dharma, whatever the name we give, Dharma or the spiritual or virtues. That is. This is nothing alien in that attitude, thought. It's our nature, your nature, my nature. We're touching to the core of our own true beings or true treasures. Not ignoring and looking outside somewhere distant. We're making meaning for our lives. That moment. Even that, the attitude, the thought, if we have that, that is not just a finish, that energy goes. The ripple effect of energy goes to you, bring calm, peace, joy. Sun is bright. If we had that attitude, all kind of everything, even if the weather is not so good or whatever, that it really brightens up. So beautiful. Ask yourself. It's not just I'm making story or the Buddha said that, I'm repeating that. This is true, nugget truth. We're making meaning for our lives with that. So therefore, even morning, then after beginning of practices, during the practices, or the raising of the Windhorse energies, all these things, if we have that motivation, it really goes so far and so deep and so strong to benefit for to every living beings. Now, raising up the Windhorse energy or the prayer flag is one of the great virtues. In the Buddha's teaching, said in order to get enlightenment, or that means to reveal our beautiful nature, Buddha nature, we need accumulating true merits. True merit, I'm sure you all know this. You all know, I know many of you all know this. We all know everyone. True merit known as wisdom merit and accumulation merit. If simply to explain of these two merits, the first merit, the wisdom merit, is simply relaxing, calm, peacefully, and meditating on the true nature of our own mind. Calm and peaceful. Nothing particularly discriminating these and that things, activity, just relaxing. Calm and peaceful. In the present moment, freshness, original status. When we relax that, according to Buddha's teaching, it will reveal the deep nature of ourselves and the deep nature of the all environments. Exaggerate things up. It brings the openness mind, freshness mind, and understanding of the nature of the infinite, how things are. It will bring. And that is known as wisdom merits. And then, second is accumulation merits. Accumulation merit has beautiful motivation, joy and appreciations, and bodhicitta in any activity we do. Thinking of that and do, such as activity, beneficial activities, or calm and peaceful activity, non-violence activity, then it is accumulating the accumulation variables, such as raising of the reflex Windhorse energy. Windhorse energy is particularly what according to the teaching said, this is really so powerful. The prayer raising of the Windhorse or the prayer is so powerful and so it's full of the method or the skills. Skillful means activity that accumulation made very quickly. This is the Vedanta teaching is generally known as full of skillful means combined with wisdom and compassion. So therefore, raising up this prayer flex or the Windhorse energy is very powerful, speed up to activating our beautiful energies, vitalities, and that. And in deep down, what is energy now? We're talking energy of the loving kindness and compassion. Love and compassion and wisdoms. That is energy. That is our essence. So it will really help to bring up. This, if we talk a little bit details of these wisdoms, those are numbers, I'm sure many of you all know this. Those are known as 5 wisdoms. Those are known as Dharma Dhatu wisdoms, and then mirror-like wisdoms, equanimity wisdoms, and distinctively understanding wisdoms, and then all accomplished wisdoms. So it will rise up that wisdom. This is not just a wisdom. It rises up the compassion, kindness, open heart, warm heart. When that raises up, what is demolishing? All the opposite of those are going away. Those are purifying, cleaning away. What is the opposite of the Dharma Dhatu wisdoms, which is blocking the not raising of the Dharma Dhatu wisdoms? It's ignorance. The ignorance are subsided when Dharma Dhatu wisdom arises. What is the opposite of the mirror-like wisdoms? It is anger. When mirror-like wisdoms are ready to shining, what's called anger is going down. Anger is subsiding or is there is love pushing down or clearing away. When anger goes out, what is coming up? Together with mirror-like wisdom, but love, kindness, compassion. Love and kindness and compassion is not just a focus in one direction. It's both directions. Every angle is a direction. That means it brings more joy and appreciation to ourselves. Feel happy, beautiful, and beautiful outside too. Really brings beautiful understanding. And that also means we have bring more openness, more courage, more commitment, more passion. More bring that. Then that's what known as mirror-like wisdom raising. Directly the anger is going down. Where is it going? To the great nature of the vastness. There is even no trace that you can find where the anger went. The magically arising the mirror-like wisdom, magically dissipating the anger or subsiding the anger or reducing the anger according to our capabilities. When we raise up the great wisdom, the equanimity wisdoms, what is going down? Then it's going down all that arrogance. Equanimity wisdom is rising up in that moment. The arrogance, superior attitudes, that is going on. What is actually arrogant is? According to Buddhism, arrogant is a combination of the ego clings very directly that I am the best, I am the good, I'm the okie-dokie person. I'm quite okay. Even we do all the different funny things, still we kind of like, we always assuring to our own self by ego, kind of, I'm okay, I'm good. That is known as arrogance. Reality level, everyone's equal. There's no distinction between anyone's. We are on the same earth. We breathe the same air. We eat basically the same food that gives from Mother Earth. Our need is the same. Our desire is the same. Our biological structure is the same. Our feeling is the same. We like to be happy. No one like to be sad and sufferings. But arrogance, the ego clinging, the stubbornness of the ego clinging makes ourselves so kind of like best. Oh, it's okay. I don't care. All those attitudes are arising because due to the ego and arrogance. So, therefore, when the equanimity shines, the calm and peace, openness, the humbleness, humility, those naturally become so practical, sensibles. That is what all arises with this. That. When arise in the equanimity wisdoms. When we arise in the, such as distinguish or distinctly understanding awareness wisdoms, or sometimes translated into English, discrimination awareness wisdoms. But it's not something discriminating these and that things. It's distinguishing, understanding exactly where things are. Exactly I will understand this awareness, see things as it, and that is. Good, see good as good, bad as bad, and mixture as mixture, and just a mundane, simple, basic knowledge that understanding, not blown by the ignorance, not blown by the ego clinging. Bring up that realization. That is known as distinctly understanding awareness wisdoms. When that comes clearly, our desire, the attachment, the grasping, clinging, those hindrances are subsiding and bring more calm and peacefulness. And not just always crying, not always enough, not enough, this and I need this, I want this and that, running day and night, and then making ourselves tired and making troubles to the others. Peace, the whole can feel the richness, the inner richness, that is coming by then subside of those attachment, grasping, clingings, and have such a raising of this beautiful, then discrimination, awareness, wisdom. Then we may bring up such as the wisdom of all the accomplished wisdoms. What is subsiding or what is going on is jealousy. That is going on. And there is nothing need to be jealous. We all accomplish it. We accomplish it. Jealousy again is a part of the tendencies and part of the rationals of the ego clingings. Always like competitors, always challenging, always kind of like that, and always like restless thinking, kind of like trying to challenge and trying to suppress them. Nothing need to be suppressed. All is accomplished. When you have the great wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu and the equanimity, all moral wisdom and all discriminatory awareness, that every fulfillment comes. Fulfillment is there. Right in this whole, this universe, world is actually in a way for us. For us. This planet, the gardens, the trees, the mountains, this all is for our usages or for our side. There's nothing really we have to be kind of like jealous. Just relax, calmly, peaceful, joy and appreciated, and feel great contentment. And then everything will be calm and goes as magical displays. So this is what I'm talking about. This prayer flags, or the raising of Windhorse energy, it will raise up those all wisdom energies and push down, or the clear way, or reduce. I shouldn't use push down. It's reducing, lowering, and demolishing of all the opposite of that. Although I have mentioned all those already. And that is also, according to Vajrayana, is connected with the colors. There is a colorful prayer flags. Colors are very much related to our nature of the mind, our inner rich qualities, and wisdoms. The blue, for example, blue is connected with the Dharmadhatu wisdoms. And white is connected with the Merolic wisdoms, white color. And such as then, yellow is connected to the equanimity wisdoms. And the red is connected or symbolizing distinctively understanding awareness wisdoms. Green is connected or symbolizing it is connected or symbolized all accomplished wisdoms. So they are connected. This is not again mad up like these scholars and saying, oh, it is presented. According to the teaching, according to the Tantra, inner Tantra, esoteric Buddhism, these scholars are the reflection of our own mind, our own nature, call it. Reality in the teaching says that the color is not really outside. This color is within our own mind, our nature of the mind. Those wisdom is shine. Like our awareness, even though we don't find awareness, but it has multiple color of natures. Multiple natures. It has all that multiple. For example, when we look at the crystal, we don't see the colors of the crystals, except that's transparent, lucid. But reality, it contains the colors. At certain condition, you can see the color. Similarly, the nature of the mind has all. And this five wisdom is not outside the wisdom. Again, nature of the mind. So when we put up this prayerfully raising up the Windhorse energy, it is what we're really exploring, re-glorifying reality level, our inner richness. And that will also immediately help to our energies, our vitalities. And then it will also reflect it to the external, our fulfillments. And it will remove our obstacles, disease, sicknesses, hindrance, and it will fulfill the goal. And therefore, in the Tibetan Buddhism, every those times when we go to we do a lot of what's called, many people also ask to do the divinations. Every time when those lamas or some who are not necessarily always a lama, but somebody does the divination, and he said, oh, you need to do this and that things, and raise up the prayer flags. Oh, I like to fulfill this goal and activity. I'm not working. It's not going exactly. I wish it. I tried it so many times again, but it's not working. What I should do? Can you help out to do the divination on this? And when they do the divination, most of the time they say, raise up the prayer flags. Prayer flag, because it will clear away the obstacles and smoothen and clear away the passage of the two moving forward of whatever activity we're doing, performing that. So because it's creating such activity, that means the action activity is opening, and that all our activity, good beneficial activity is really moving. So therefore, for that reason, all this is really so special to raise up the Windhorse, this prayer place. Then I talk really of this again, what place we should raise up the Windhorse, these prayer flags. What kind of motivation we should have when we raise the prayer flags. And what the time of to raise of the prayer flags, when is the best time of the raise of the prayer flags? What is the benefit, even though I already mentioned, what is the benefit of this raising of the prayer flags? And so I talk really about that. And the first one is to raise of the prayer flag place area. Actually, we can raise up the prayer flag anywhere, according to Buddha's teaching and the teaching of Guru Padma Samye is really good. Wherever you have space, wherever you is nice. And of course, Buddha's teaching is not disturbing to anyone. That is important. So when you raise up the prayer place, then it is not disturbing to your neighborhood or anyone. Well, any place to raise up the prayer place is excellent, is beautiful. But the best one is what in the teaching said. High mountains, open airs. There's a lot of wind movements and kind of clay areas, open places. So raise up the prayer flag is really the best in the teaching said. It is uplifting the environment, it's benefiting to the environment, and at the same time it's clear passage and the wind is like always like moving the prayer flags, and that means it is that wind carried the energy of that prayer flag to all over the universe of the world. So therefore, high up in the mountain or higher places in the raise up. And that's what if you look at Tibetan's house, if you go to the Tibet or the Nepal or the India, there's most people, they put the prayer flags up on the roof. Those families, they put those higher places. So in that way, the Padma Samye Ling, this little land, is one of the best places to put the prayer flags. With that beautiful motivation, beautiful intentions, if we put prayer flags. It's so special. And the time of the prayer flags, any time is excellent. There's nothing really particular in that. But again, if you have the choice, the springtime, this time is really the best. Because everything is what in the Buddha teaching said, interdependent coordinations. It's all connected. So if you do put the right cause and condition and circumstances, that will become more powerful. The springtime is a time of lush, time of the growth, time of the energies rising up. So if we swing on that as like surfing board with the prayer flags, then our energy, vitality, good motivation, all will come up. So this is also this time, for example, during this memorial retreat weekend or this time is really the one of the best of the time. Generally, I said any time is okay, definitely good. Good, and particularly also in the teaching said, I'm good any time, but if you have no choice, good any time. But if you have choice, the times are like such as like January time and Pacific time of the days, then such as at the day, 10th day, full moon, and the new moon, Dakini day, those are really good according to teaching that. And then springtime, as I said, is good. Because it's lush, it's a growth, it's a progress. The energy is coming in this part of the world, or north part of the world. All is not subsiding, it's really raising, kind of rushing that energy. So every use this. So time is the perfect time of the putting it. And the next one is then benefit of this. Benefit of this practice, prayer flags, are then numerous. Benefit of now and benefit of the future. Benefit of now is, as already mentioned, removing the obstacles, obscuration, disease, sicknesses, fulfilling our wishes, goals, and raising up our vitality and energies. Energies, really, that is it. And the ultimate benefit is then, according to Buddha's teaching, it will lead us to the enlightenment because we are accumulating two merits. Merit, accumulation merit, versus merit combined, so we develop inside, or simple to tell, we make good karma. So karma, karma is not only just a benefit this lifetime, but next lifetime, next lifetime, next lifetime. So that is what it is. Then what are the prayer flags? What are those prayers? We say prayer flags there. But it is not just, I don't know exactly meaning of the prayer, but it is a sacred word, sacred syllables are printed on those perfects in colors, according elements, according the wisdom is printed that we are raising up with the perfect time, perfect location, and perfect motivation. So it's sacred words, sacred teachings. Sacred what means what? According to Buddhism, it is absolutely best upon the voice of love and compassion, kindness to all living beings without any discriminations. It is a sacred song. It's all the teachings of Buddha's teachings, teachings of the Sutra teachings, Mahayana Sutra teachings, particularly inner out Tantra teachings, inner Tantra teachings. That we're raising up. We're putting up that's a perfect element, and when you put it outside, it will be contracted by all the 5 elements. Sky, earth, fire, water, wind. Particularly wind, it will carry that power. And wind is the most powerful element among all the elements. Everything is best according to Buddhism is wind. Ultimately, is really standing on the wind. We all stand. The universe is standing on the wind, and ourselves is best on the wind. Wind, our physical situation. So it is branded to that everywhere is benefit to everywhere. It's branding, the element is the balancing, and larger level, environment the balancing, and we can really do that, also contributing one of the best we can do for the environmental contribution to do such this prayer place. So it benefit to many levels, multiple levels, and so that's my brief introductions of the prayer place. Maybe I did too much, but thank you everyone. And now, really, among all the deities that we do the practice of the Windhorse energy in the Gesai is the, according to the teaching, is the best. Really one of them. I mean, generally all Buddhas enlightened beings are the same. There's no difference between everyone is love and compassion, kindness and wisdom that embodies really to all living beings. There's no difference at all. But however, even though there's no difference, it's because due to their previous commitment and aspiration of the bodhisattva, and then they slightly kind of highlight the fulfillment or that beneficial that comes to those who are connected to those deities or the Buddha. For example, Manjushri is known as the Buddha of the wisdom. It didn't mean the compassion and the loving kindness is not there. And this is all but a little bit highlight of the wisdom. Chinese or our Lokilishora is the Buddha of compassion. Again, it didn't mean Chinese don't have the wisdoms. It's just a highlight. Similarly, Gesai is known as the very spiritual to raise up the Windhorse energies or the vitalities and remove the obstacles. So therefore, we're doing these Gesai practices combined with together. So first we do Gesai practice short time, and then we do this prayer Gesai, and then do the blessing of the prayer place. And that not just me, we all do this blessing, put our interior spiritual motivation to these prayers and blessing that, and then we take that out and you will help to raise up that, and then again, as I said, when we raise up this prayer, all preparing, then really have good motivation, good intention, good thought, and thinking of every living beings, and by doing this, may there is beautiful peace and happiness, harmonies, to all this whole world. World is, I'm sure throughout the centuries, these troubles are always there, but these days it looks like so many kind of bustling of these troubles everywhere. Really wish that everyone has very great wisdom and knowledge and understanding and respect and appreciation to everyone, to each others, and then bring calm and peace and harmonies, and that in those inhabitants of this world. And then in also the world itself, also all the elements are completely perfectly balanced, so there's no more natural disasters really come, and then we right through that, everyone also become their highest ultimate goal of the joy and peace, happiness, really wishing that. So we do that, we to prepare those prayer flags and raise up this prayer flags, and as we can do. And so that is the one, so that's a brief introduction. And now we do this, again we do the Kesa practice here. If you have this sadhana, and please open this sadhana, and we